Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of the app ibisPaintx. So this app I like to use for creating things like stickers, digital stickers, just emotes. It's really good for a lot of different things. You can do really complex pieces on it. You can do simple pieces. It's really a nice, clean app to use, and it does a lot of advanced things that you would find on any computer program. Alright, so let's jump right into it. My last video was of Medibang, so if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. I did a walkthrough of Medibang on the Android device. I have a 10.1 inch on brand tablet, just like the Walmart brand tablet. It's a good affordable tablet. I am going to be doing a review on it in the future, so you know, if you've been kind of curious about the Walmart tablets, keep an eye open for that one too. I'm also doing a series of like walkthrough videos of the apps that I use for my digital art, and also I've been delving into the world of digital planners as well and how to make those, and so I'm going to be doing some walkthroughs of those programs that I use to do that as well. So on the home page we have our My Gallery collection and online gallery. So if you were to upload anything to your online, it would probably appear here, but I'm not even signed into anything for this. Yeah, I know, go back. Get me out of this. And then this app does have ads at the bottom and the top, like when you're actually in a project. So let me open one of these that I've been doing some stickers. So these are on 1000 by 1000 canvas size. And then you'd save them individually. This is like a Polaroid sticker I've been working on, but we'll do a walkthrough with this. And if you want to go the ad-free, thanks for that, dude. They've moved the settings. It used to be on the left bar over here, but they've moved it to the arrow. You hit settings, and then you can change all of this stuff in here. So if you want to remove ads, you can pay a subscription fee every month to remove them. It's like $2.99, so it's pretty reasonable. Or I think you can pay a flat rate to have them removed completely. So starting in the upper right corner, we'll go through these little 4 circles that are up here. This has like a materials tab that you can use. So say I'm working on this and I have a clipping layer right here above this layer. I want to add a little material to it. So I can just pick one of these. Some are locked and some are not. Ooh, let's go with this white cranes. I like that one. See, look, and then it just adds it to the mask. Isn't that cute? And there you go. And then you could hit your arrow and save as a transparent PNG or PNG. And then you'd have a cute Polaroid sticker with that on it. And it added 2 clipping layers, so I'll just delete one. And then also if you want to get rid of that, you'll have your handy eraser tool and stuff. But then, so the next one, and there is more than just like patterns and stuff. There's tons of things. You got patterns, backgrounds, anime backgrounds, real looking backgrounds, comic effects, tiles, fire, light flares, insects, bows, flowers, stamps and stickers. There's arrows and stuff. There's all kinds of things, frames, and a lot of them are free. And then you'll have a favorites, which you can add a material to your favorites by tapping a star, and then your history of things that you've used in the past. So yes, these 2. And you can delete them from there as well. The next one over is your rulers. So it has different, move this guy over there. Different types of rulers. You have your like straight ruler, and you can rotate these and turn them and everything. You can add more, so you can add another straight ruler and you can put them in different positions and stuff if you're trying to do something in particular. Oh, wrong one. And then you can add a circular ruler, elliptical ruler, radial ruler. You can move this wherever you want, or you can just simply turn them back off. Then there's the symmetry rulers. So, you know, anything you draw will appear on the other side, like so. You know, and then this is like a 4-way one. That just filled it in because my brush is like huge right now. And then you have rotation. I've never really played with these very much. And then you have a perspective one, so you can change like the shape of that, and it helps draw like buildings and stuff. It's really cool. And then also you have your on this next third one over, you have your stabilizer. So you can go from 0 to 10. I just keep it on 10 because it, you know, and then force fade. Whoops, my timer. You can play with this around a little bit, and that like fades the line and everything for whatever you're using. And then you have a drawing tool here at the bottom. So you have your line, your square, your circle, ellipse, what is that called? A hexagon, a curvy line, and a straight line with edges. So say you got this curve line. I'm just going to add a layer so that way I can just kind of draw, but you just push your little points and it'll curve, and you can move them around, make adjustments. It's a good tool to use if you have issues drawing lines. And then you can delete points and whatnot as well. And that's the same with the straight line, or, you know, whatever. And then you have your, so this is the tool that I use to make this like Polaroid shape. I, you know, do that and then another box on the inside. As easy as that. And then just make sure to turn it off or you're not going to be able to use your brush normally. And the next one over is a selection tool. You can select opacity. I've never really played around with this much, but you got your cut, copy, and paste. And the other thing I've used is like clear layer or remove selection area, where you can invert your selection area on this. And then going to the bottom of the app, we have our opacity slider for our brush, and as well as our brush size. And it gives you a little circle that you can, you know, use to gauge how big or small your brush is going to be. And to undo, you can just double tap on with 2 fingers on the screen, or you can hit the little arrows at the bottom. And then we have our little arrow that takes us to settings, save the image as a transparent PNG, save as a regular PNG, or go back to the gallery. The next one over, you have your layers. And in here, you can clear the layer, you can invert layer color, move the layer. So you hit that little button to let you move the layer around. You can flip it horizontally or invert the layer upside down. It's not doing anything because there's nothing on this layer. Or you can merge the layer down. You can delete the layer. And there's also these little tools right here. So you can grayscale, clear the color, select opacity, rename the layer, and save the layer itself as a PNG. Not the whole canvas, just the layer. You can change your background, so you can go to the dark, transparent, the regular like checkerboard, or just a plain white. And you can select, you know, the blending mode, screen tone through here. And there's a lot of different choices, and it kind of like organizes it as well as like to what it does. These ones will darken, these ones will lighten, these ones will contrast, these ones will show the difference in the colors. And then this is the color settings. Then you have your alpha lock and your clipping. So if you just tap that, it'll clip it. As well as like the alpha lock, I never really used it much because I prefer the clipping layers. Okay, and then you have your also an opacity slider down here. So there's multiple places where you can find different tools for the layers, which is nice. And then we have the tools underneath the picture of the layer that we're on. So you can invert the entire canvas. This does the entire canvas. The ones off to the right do just the layer. flip the entire canvas. You can add an image, import a picture. You can add a folder, add a layer from the canvas, or duplicate a layer with the little plus sign with the square. And then the plus sign off to the left of that just adds another layer, just a regular layer. And then you have your redo arrow, your undo arrow. This little down one just hides everything. So when you push it again, it brings everything back up. So it gives you a nice, clean, interface to work with. You still have the little annoying ad at the top, but if you choose to pay to remove it, it'll just expand your canvas all the way to the top. And you can still access your buttons down here with it minimized. And then the one here is your color. So you can either have your color wheel with your little sliders, or you can hit this little down arrow and it brings up your color palette. And to add a color to the color palette, it's super easy. You just, hold on. You can delete colors, or you can just click and drag it over like that. The next one over is your brush. So these are all the basic brushes that come with the app itself. And then your custom brushes, like if you have selected a basic tool and then you customized it with a certain size or certain settings of like opacity and everything like that, it would be saved in the custom side. So if you customized it and then switched to a different brush and then you want to go back to that same setting you had for that brush, you just go to the custom and then open it there. And you can select all kinds of different things from this menu: the basic, fade, shape, jitter, the brush type, mono, water, or double. See, water or mono, dynamic, the thickness, speed, opacity, blurring, like all kinds of like settings for that. As well as you can import and export brushes. And then you also have these nifty little sliders that just adjust the brush size and the opacity right there for you, so you don't have to open up that menu every time. Okay, sorry about that. I got a phone call. And then this handy little tool that's the bottom of this toolbar at the bottom on the left-hand side is a switch between eraser and your brush. So say you have this little bar pushed down, right, and you want to switch from one to the other. Can't really tell which one you're on until you actually do something with it. So I'm on the eraser right there. Then you switch back and then you're on your brush. But to see which one you're on, if you hit the eraser, your brush, your color gets a little line through it. So that means it's transparent. You switch back, it'll switch back to a regular square. That's how you tell which one you're on. And you also get little size sliders for your eraser and the opacity as well. So you can turn down the opacity. That didn't really do much, did it? Oh, there it goes. Lighten things up a little. But yeah. And I've never tested how far back you can undo, but I've undoed a lot on this thing. And then we're going to go over this bar on the left hand side. Okay, so at the top we have our transform tool to move things around. And I'm not 100% sure what that is, or where that came from. What is that? I don't know. Part of this layer or something, I guess. I don't know. Then we have our magic wand. Of course, you select stuff with it, and you can do stuff with it. So say I selected stuff with the magic wand, I go to my brush, and then it'll only let me do anything on the white part like that. See? Cool. And then you can also go to this little dot and remove selected area to get rid of it all. Then we have our lasso tool, which everybody knows what the lasso tool does. Select stuff. And then you can only paint inside the tool. And then you want to invert the selection area. You can only paint outside of it. Cool, cool. And then just get rid of the area. And then we have FX filters. Some of these are locked, some of these aren't, but you just usually can watch like an ad or something, or you can get the Prime membership to unlock it, $2.99 a month, or one payment of $9, which is pretty good, pretty comparable. But then you get all these extra free ones. It kind of gives you a preview of what it might do. Grayscale, black and white, Gaussian blur, you know, all the fun stuff. And then of course we just have our regular brush tool, and it pops up this, watch a video, but it just brings up the same box that this dot at the bottom brings up. And we have our eraser, so it just brings up the eraser, just switches. Smudge, you can smudge things, this helps with blending. Blur, you can blur out certain parts. Okay, and then we have our special tool. You have a liquify pen, shrink pen, drag, expand, smoothen, revert, and the strength, and then also thickness. I've never really played around with this very much. Oh, I see. So this is what people use a lot for blending, the liquify pen. Interesting. Okay. And then you also have a little settings thing on here. Ooh. Ooh. I'm finding new things. But that's pretty cool. Okay. And then of course your bucket tool. You color things with your bucket tool. You have a text, so you can enter some text, and ibisPaint has a lot of different texts, like holy moly. And these are like all free fonts. Look at all that. That's a lot. I'm only into the G's. So that's a lot. See, look, that one's pretty. Homemade apple. Look at that. That's pretty. And then you type whatever. So let's type, oh, it's not even getting it. L-O-V-E. Love, love. Size. You can make it big or small. You can move it around. You can change, you can add a stroke to it. So say I want a purple stroke and I want it to be white. And I add the stroke, see, like that. You can make it pink with a purple stroke, black with a purple stroke, or whatever. And you can put a background to it. I gotta try to finish this up. My kids are getting unruly. But anyway, you can add a background to your text. You can make it big or small, whatnot. I still haven't really played around with that very much. And then you have line spacing. See, there's a sample underneath that, but or you just have your basic text. You can center it, right, left, center, horizontal, vertical. So if you want to turn it vertical, you just hit that button, change your font. You have your favorites that you've used and whatnot. All fun. And then if you wanted to do anything fun with this text, you'd have to go into your layers and then rasterize the layer. And then you could do stuff like add a clipping layer. And then you can go to your brush, and you can do fun stuff with the text like that or whatever. Or you could give it stripes or something. That's how you do that with those layers. So if you are wanting to do something fun with the text, like add a pattern or something like this white thing with the birds or whatever, you could do that over it too. You'd have to make it bigger so you could actually see it, but or you want to add an image on top of the text, that's how you do that. You rasterize the layer, then you put a clipping layer on top and add your image to the clipping layer. And then you have a frame divider that you can use for manga and comics and stuff. Then your eyedropper tool, which is pretty self-explanatory, and ibisPaint also has the touch and hold eyedropper automatically, so I like rarely ever go use the one on the left side. And then canvas, you can change canvas size, you can crop the canvas, you can change the DPI and resize the pixels as well with that. And you can also rotate left, rotate right, invert horizontal or invert vertical. You can flip it that way if you don't want to just go here and do it. You have different methods of being able to do that. So that's pretty much the walkthrough of this. And I do believe that this app also works with the Sonar pen if you do have that. Like right here, the stylus. Sonar pen is on here. So the Sonar pen you can buy off Amazon for like $35. I'm planning on getting one so I can test it out. And you plug it in. You need a headphone jack for it, so you plug it in. If you have a device that doesn't have one, you can always buy the USB-C to the headphone jack adapter, as well as they have one for iPad as well. And then they're compatible with both ibisPaint and Medibang. They have software in their programs for that pen specifically. So I plan on trying them out and stuff. But anyway, thanks for stopping by and checking out my walkthrough of ibisPaintx. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video. It really helps out my channel. Subscribe. Share with your friends if you have other, artist friends and they're looking for an art program that's easy to use and they need kind of a walkthrough video of how to navigate it. Because I know when I first opened these programs, I was like, what is all of this stuff and what does it do? Huge learning curve. And a lot of the videos on YouTube right now are not in English. So, I'm just trying to help out my fellow English speakers here who don't want to sit and read the entire video and kind of like shows you what each thing does and all that fun stuff. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I will see you guys on the next one.